I'm Chef Dave, and I haven't always been the handsome, suave, debonair guy you see right now. For years, I lived my life morbidly obese. My mission with Eating Right Every Bite is to help others begin to enjoy their meals and their lives more fully. Every recipe you'll see on Eating Right Every Bite, they're designed for people who have had weight loss surgery. When I chose weight loss surgery as a tool to get my life back, it was in desperation. At my heaviest adult weight, I was about 410 pounds. Being a chef, I began to invent new and better recipes and prep techniques so getting protein wouldn't be a chore. You can truly enjoy delicious food while remaining committed to a healthy diet. My mission with Eating Right Every Bite is to help others begin to enjoy their meals and their lives more fully.
The Weight Loss Surgery channel is proud to partner with RenewedReflections.com for weight loss surgery support. Share encouragement, strength, and hope with new friends online. And get the skinny on different weight loss surgery procedures from a resource you can trust. All at RenewedReflections.com.
Recently, we reported that the southern states, Mississippi in particular, had the highest rates of obesity in the U.S. A recent article published by the U.S. Centers for Disease Control may offer a clue as to why. The report reveals that blacks and Hispanics have much higher rates of obesity than non-Hispanic whites. The South, of course, has a higher proportion of black and Hispanic Americans than do other regions of the country, which may explain the correlation. Government statistics show that during the period of 2006 to 2008, more than 35% of all black Americans were clinically obese, followed by some 28% of Hispanics. By comparison, 23.7% of all non-Hispanic whites were classed as obese during that time frame. And that's the national average. The situation in some individual states is far worse. In fact, more than 40% of blacks in Alabama, Maine, Mississippi, Ohio, and Oregon were found to be obese. But why the big differences in obesity levels between members of different racial and ethnic groups? The researchers think there are three reasons: behavioral differences, cultural differences, and differences of opportunity. They note that differences exist between racial and ethnic groups in terms of diet and activity levels, cultural attitudes about weight, and access to healthful foods. They suggest a public health response in which government joins forces with local communities, employers, schools, families, and individuals to overcome negative behaviors and attitudes and replace them with those more conducive to healthy living. Although thought-provoking, these findings should not be taken as conclusive, say CDC researchers involved in the study. They point out that the data was gathered through telephone surveys, which may skew the findings in terms of the respondents' age and socioeconomic status. Even so, they say, the clear trend toward obesity among black and Hispanic Americans is disconcerting. Finally, if you have had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass surgery, you may be at greater risk for kidney stones, according to a team of researchers at the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine. Doctors found that almost 8% of Roux-en-Y patients in a recent study developed kidney stones. Among obese patients in a control group who did not undergo the surgery, only about 5% developed kidney stones. So, what is a kidney stone? It's literally a stone, a chunk of mineral called calcium oxalate. The calcium comes from the foods you eat, milk, green vegetables, and the like. In a person with a normally functioning digestive system, this dietary calcium gets bound together with a substance called oxalate in the intestine. Once calcium meets oxalate, the body can't absorb it, and out it goes. However, a person who has had Roux-en-Y gastric bypass is missing a fairly good-sized chunk of intestine, which limits the amount of fat the body can absorb, which is, after all, the whole point of the surgery. Unfortunately, this means that some of the fat they eat doesn't get absorbed or pass through. Instead, it breaks down into a collection of fatty acids, which then combine with the dietary calcium instead of with oxalate. And when that free oxalate gets flushed into the kidneys, it links up with other calcium that's been flushed into the renal system, and bam, kidney stones. But there's no need to worry over any of this. The increased risk, while significant, is still small, and it's highly unlikely that you'll get kidney stones when you have a Roux-en-Y procedure. And even if you do have kidney stones or some other side effect after surgery, it's less risky to deal with whatever those side effects might be than to stay obese. Sure, kidney stones can be painful, but obesity will kill you if left untreated. And that wraps it up for another edition of Weight Loss Surgery News. If you have a story you think we should cover, be sure to drop us a line at news@weightlosssurgerychannel.com. You can also connect with hundreds of other friends from the weight loss surgery community by friending us on Facebook. I'm Leslie Thompson, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.